Hi, my name is Simon Edgoose. I am here at Fast Forward to show you the Gen16 from Zildjian. These are low volume cymbals, and hopefully if you watch now you'll be able to find out a little bit of information about them and find out just how great they are. Okay, I'm going to play a track.
Crashing on me for some reason, but your love keeps on coming like a thunderbolt. Come here a little closer, 'cause I wanna see you, baby, real closer. Standing ovation, and who would have thought it'd be the two of us? So don't wake me if I'm dreaming, 'cause I'm in the mood, come on and give it up.
Thank you for coming. My name is Simon Edgoose. I am here to show you the Zildjian Gen16s, but I have a few other treats to show you later on. We like our cymbals, but when it comes to electronic drum kits, a normal ride is maybe that big, but on electronic kit, we are expected to play a ride cymbal which is that big and made of rubber and sounds like. Doesn't sound very good, doesn't look very good, doesn't feel right. So Zildjian have come out with this, which is the Gen16. These are the AE buffed bronze cymbals. AE is acoustic electronic. Okay? You're all being very polite at the moment. Okay, good. And there's three different things, three different lots of people who these are really good for. The first one, if I just turn down those. Right, here I have an acoustic drum kit with, oh, thank you very much. as if by magic. I have an acoustic drum kit with mesh heads. Yeah, so just quiet. And this is getting much more popular in Europe and America, where people will just have, rather than have an electronic kit with small pads, they will have an acoustic kit with mesh heads on, because it looks nicer. And because it looks nicer and feels nicer, it's nicer to play, and it's much more satisfying, okay? But to have this kit with small rubber cymbals doesn't really work, okay? So that's where these come in. So I can have these Gen16 cymbals on my practice kit at home, and all your neighbours would hear would be... Now, if you think, yes, that's still quite loud, here we have a real cymbal, okay? It's quite a bit quieter, okay? So, these are a fantastic for quiet home practice. And I can treat them just like real cymbals, and what makes them feel really good, and I don't know if you've ever noticed this, but I will get one of you to do this. It just doesn't feel like a real cymbal. These are metal, they are real cymbals, and they vibrate. So we feel the vibration coming through the stick, and that's what makes it feel like a real cymbal. Okay, so how are they so quiet? Well, if I just pass, if you want to just pass that round, have a look at it and pass it round. These are normal B8 cymbals from Zildjian, but they've, as you can see, they've got lots of holes in them. The ride cymbal has got 2,500 holes in it. I was very bored one night, and my wife was out, so I just decided to count them all. No, not true. My wife's never out. No, but it's so yeah. So I have a ride cymbal with lots and lots of holes in it, and the holes make them lighter, and they also make them bend. So you might think that making holes in a cymbal would make them crack, but it doesn't. They are, as you saw, I can play them hard and they're absolutely fine. Okay, so. Real cymbals, lots of holes, much quieter. But if I want to make them a little bit louder, then I can, if you can see, there's this little pickup underneath, okay? It's not a microphone. It doesn't work like a microphone. If I play, you don't hear that through the PA speakers, okay? It just picks up the vibration in the metal. So anything which happens to the cymbal, this picks it up and it passes it down the wires through this little box here to the speakers. So okay, so I can just treat them like exactly the same as normal cymbals. And the pickup picks up all the vibration, and as you can probably hear, if you can hear it, I have a rivet in this cymbal. Okay? And you can hear that through the speakers. If I had an overhead microphone, you probably wouldn't hear that because it would just be lost, it would be too quiet. But because of the pickup, we can actually hear the sound of the rivet, which is great. So means I can have very, very sensitive cymbals which feel like cymbals, they vibrate like cymbals, and I can make them nice and loud. So we can have them through headphones or we can have them through speakers. So great, that's really cool, but maybe we'll want a little bit more. So what I can do is, say I'm doing a gig. How many of you drum in bands? How many of you do gigs, concerts? Not that many? Okay. How many of you practice at home if you're drummers? Okay. The rest of you don't take... Okay, fine. Right. So if you are playing live with a band, I can have different sounds for different songs. With this box here, again, if you want to pass that round, that's called the digital cymbal processor. And that allows me to take the sound of the cymbals and means I can change the sound of the cymbals. So let's go up here. I can have up to 99 different versions of every single cymbal. Now, you probably will never use 99 different versions of every single cymbal, but you can have them if you want to. So this is a very big hi-hat. I think I need a more metal drum kit. Okay, but maybe I don't want that. Maybe I want a really trashy, some trashy hi-hats. So I can change the cymbal sound as I want. Okay, make sense? You're being very quiet. Okay, makes sense? Good. And like I say, I can have 99 different versions of it, so I can have lots of different things. But one very, very, very important thing is these are not samples. You are not hearing any electronics. The sound you are hearing is this metal through the pickup going to the speakers. Okay, that's why we can hear the rivet, because it's actually the sound of this metal. There's no samples. I can't load samples in or anything else like that. It does not work like that. So imagine these pickups are microphones. They're not, but imagine they were, and that's the sort of way it works. Let me just unravel that. Okay, there we go. Right. Now, so the sound is picked up by the pickup, and it comes to this box here. And this little box is really, really important, okay? And it's really, really important because we can change the color, okay? That is the most important thing about this box, is we can change the color. And if I was wearing my blue Converse trainers, oh, that's advertising, sorry. If I was wearing my blue trainers, I would put it to match the blue trainers. Or what we can do is we can just turn it off. Is anyone a guitarist? Okay. Anyone an accordion player? No, good. Okay. Accordion players love things like this. You know, they light up and they look all cool. But we drummers, no. So I think we'll just turn those off for the moment. Okay. And then the sound comes down to the DCP, which you've passed around. And this lets me do lots of things. It means I can set up different songs, different presets. So I could have hi-hat number 1 with crash number 13 and ride number 23, and I can just go through, and every single song I play with a band I can have a different set of cymbals for, if I want to do that. Okay. But you have an electronic kit. How many preset kits do you use? 3 or 4. You use more than most people. Most people who have electronic kits, they use 1 or 2 kits, maybe 3. They normally have a rock kit, a jazz kit, and one which they use to show off to their friends when their friends come around to try the electronic kit out, which has helicopters and waterfalls and all that sort of stuff. Okay, so yeah, you probably won't use 99 different kits, but you can have 99 different sets of cymbals if you want to. Okay, so everything I've done so far has been quite poppy. Let's do something a little bit different. So pick a cymbal sound. That'll do. Right. So we could do something a little bit lighter, like this. Just going to mute the microphone.
There will be other men that I may kiss. They won't thrill me like yours used to do. I may dream a million dreams, but how can they come true if there will never, ever be? There will
The keyboard player always has to finish last. Have you noticed that? We finish and they're always just playing a little bit more. But anyway, any keyboard players here? Good, because if there were, they'd have to leave now. So, anyway, okay. And then maybe let's try something else. Let's try some electronics. Just going to turn this up a little bit. Okay, so I'm going to pick a trashy, really nasty, trashy hi-hat, well, cymbal sound, and then let's try a track like that.
Pump up the volume, pump up the volume, pump up the volume.
Check it out.
Pump up the volume.
You're gonna get your
Brothers and sisters,
Pump up the volume.
pump that thing.
brothers and sisters,
Pump up the volume.
You're gonna get your
brothers and sisters.
Pump up the volume.
You get the idea. So I can do it with lots of different styles of music. Pop, rock, jazz, acoustic, anything. It really depends on what you want to do. Let's get rid of that. But one thing that's very important. How many of you like, the drummers, you like bright cymbals? And how many of you like dark cymbals? Yeah, okay. Right. So what I can do is, let's grab this. Right underneath the camera as well, that's going to be nice. Okay, a cymbal is like an EQ curve on a mixing desk, okay? All the really high frequencies come out of the bell, and all the really low frequencies come out of the edge, okay? And if you tap a cymbal and put it close to your ear, you'll just hear very nice low pitch ring. And it's exactly the same. Ouch. It's exactly the same with these. So if I put the pickup in the bell, there's lots of high frequencies. And then if I move the pickup, well, hang on, I'll just play that. Okay. If I move the pickup further down, maybe here, screw it back up. It just screws through one of the holes in the cymbals. Now it's a darker cymbal. It has less high frequencies, and this is like a balance. If I put it more towards the bell, I hear more bell. If I put it towards the edge, I hear more edge. Okay, so I can sort of tune my sound, and I can get the sound that I want. Now, some of you might be thinking, you know, I really like the idea, but the cymbals sound a little bit thin. And that is because when you put holes in a cymbal, it removes all the low frequencies. Okay? But are any of you engineers, sound engineers? One, okay. What is the first thing, if you have a drum kit with an overhead microphone, what is the first thing you do to that microphone on a gig? Well, what do you do to what? There's something you probably would do to that microphone to make it sound nicer with the kit. High pass, exactly. You would get rid of all the low frequencies. You would all the hum, the low end. You would get rid of that because otherwise it makes the drum kit sound really messy and confused and not very clear. So by making all the holes in the cymbals, that has the same effect. It gets rid of all that low end. So by themselves, they can sound a little bit thin. But if we put them with some music, then it sounds full because we don't hear that low end. Okay, bit of guitar. So it doesn't matter about it there being not very much low frequencies, because when you put it with music, which is how we should all hopefully hear cymbals anyway, they sound fine. Okay, make sense? Any questions? Capital cities? Currencies? Paint? No. Okay. Right. So, you've seen me just change some sounds, but maybe you like something different. One thing that, while I've been doing this for Zildjian, I've realized that we all hear cymbals in a different way. You might have a ride cymbal that you think is the best ride cymbal in the world, but I listen to it and I go, not sure. I might have a ride cymbal which I think is the best ride cymbal in the world, and you might hear it and go, oh no. So, we all like different things. So, what I can do, I'll just pull out this and connect this. When it doesn't have to be a Mac, or it can be a Mac or a PC or anything you want, just connect it up to the box. If you are online, if you're on the Wi-Fi, then it will check in with the Boston factory, and it will check that you have the latest versions of everything every single time you do it. So you'll always have the latest things. It's saying to me there's no updates at this time. There we go. Right. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pull in all the sounds which are in here at the moment. And you'll see the blue line go across, and that's all the sounds in this box coming out of that going into here. And then I'll just show you how easy it is to change some. Right, it's now going to show me. There we go. That's everything which is in there, and I want to make a new cymbal sound. So let's go there. Right, and these are all the different settings I can change: EQ, compression, expansion, reverb, and it's very, very cool. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to this crash here, preset number 25. Big sound. But what I'm going to do is change the pitch of it. So now I have. Doesn't sound like any crash that I own, but it's. Or maybe. Sounds pretty horrible, really, doesn't it? But I can mix it in with the original sound, and now I have a blend. Which is a nice big crash sound. So I can do this for all the sounds in here, and I can just push them back into the box, and I can have my own presets. And we all, like I say, we all hear cymbals differently, so we all want different things out of cymbals. Make sense? Yes? Good. I got some yeses then. That's good. Okay. Right. Let's put this down here. So, as you saw, I can play these with any instrument, any beater. Try and do this on electronic kit. Maybe a little bit of. I turn it up. Or if I want to play the edges. Or if I want to join Pink Floyd, I can. I can put on some reverb. It comes with a load of reverbs built in, from everything from sort of small rooms to really, really big. I don't think I'm ever going to use a cymbal sound like that, but it's there if you need to. So let's go back to a normal cymbal sound. Right, there we go. Okay, right, so I've talked about two of the things you can use this for. So you can use this for quiet practice with a mesh head drum kit or an electronic kit, which you can just plug into the back of here. You can use them on stage with the pickups and change sounds and have different cymbal sounds for each song. There's one other thing I'm going to come back to in a minute for those of you who play gigs, but at the moment I'm going to show you something which is over here, if my cable will reach. Right, this is brand new. So brand new. This is, I think, the second set in Europe. So you're the first, one of the first lot of people to see this. And what this is the Zildjian L80 range. The Gen16s, these cymbals, are 60% quieter than a real cymbal. Okay, these are 80% quieter than a real cymbal. Okay, so you can just have these as practice cymbals at home. They still feel like a real cymbal, but they're really, really quiet. And to show you how quiet, you've heard this already. So here we have a Carope. We have the general Gen16. And now we have the L80s. They're really weird to play because they are so quiet. You think you're going to get something more off them, but they're brilliant. And they also, because they vibrate, they're metal, the vibration comes through the stick, so they feel like a real cymbal, just the world's quietest real cymbals. And these come in hi-hats, 16-inch crash, and the 18-inch crash ride, which is this one. Okay, any questions? Come and try these out afterwards because they're really cool. Okay, so yeah, so that's, if you want to go even quieter, you can go L80, and hopefully sometime soon you will be able to connect this up to this box here. So you will be able to listen to those on headphones as well. But at the moment we haven't done the preset sounds, the actual tone shapes, the EQ curves for these cymbals yet. So and they're actually really reasonably priced. So check out those as well. But where I think the most important thing as far as drums are concerned is, do you guys know Tommy Lee from Motley Crue? Yeah, okay. Now, I believe on a tour that Motley Crue were doing, Tommy Lee has got quite a big drum kit, and he had overhead microphones, and they couldn't hear the cymbals because every single time they turned up the cymbals, everything got louder. The guitar leaking into the microphones, the bass leaking into the microphones, the audience, the drum sound, everything. They just couldn't hear the cymbals. It was just a complete mess audio-wise. So what they did was they tried putting these pickups onto Tommy Lee's cymbals. And that's down, so I can do this. It works really, really, really well. So for those of you who do gigs and you have an overhead microphone, you can now get rid of the overhead microphone. Okay? So what I have here is the Carope I've played earlier, and if you see on the bell, I have a little hole. And before anyone says, I'm not drilling holes in my cymbals, there's already a very big hole in your cymbal already. Okay, so doesn't make much difference. And if you have a rivet cymbal, then you will have many holes in your cymbals. So if I just mount this on the Carope, screw it up nice and tight, put it back on here. Okay, so what I'll do is I'll just play the sound of this cymbal by itself. Okay, so that's the sound of the cymbal. But now what I can do is I can just turn up the volume. Okay, so brilliant. I can now have quiet cymbals as loud as I want them to be without having to worry about lots of extra noises coming through the PA. Okay, but the other thing I can do is, because I've got 99 different versions in here, I can have 99 different versions of my Carope now. So this is the standard Carope sound. So I can do lots of different things with my real cymbals. So I can have my one set of cymbals with these direct source pickups on them, and I can change them as much as I want. Okay, which means I haven't got to have overheads. If I'm being honest, most drummers don't know what to do with overheads. We sort of put them up here and hope it's going to work. But with these, you can't really go wrong. You just put them in your cymbals, turn up the volume, get the mix right, and you have your cymbal sound. So for me, that's the most exciting thing. I think personally, in a couple of years, we'll see many drummers with these sort of pickups in the cymbals, because it makes it so much easier. We don't have to worry about the guitar sound and the bass sound. Make sense? Yeah? Okay. Right. I'm just going to play one last thing to finish with, unless anyone got any questions? Being so polite. Okay, fine. Right, I'm just going to change the cymbals, then I'm going to play one track. You'll think you know what the track is, but it's not what you think it is. So let's put this back. And everything you're seeing, everything you can see here is available separately. So if you want just the pickups or just the processor here, you can do it. It's all possible. Let me just put that there. All right. Okay. One thing I would suggest is probably not changing cymbals in the middle of a gig like I'm doing now, because it does take a little bit of time and people are looking at you going, what's he doing? But yeah, it's so where should we go? Let's go. There we go. Okay, but it's very easy. It's very easy just to put the screw through, tighten it up, and now I have a cymbal I can put through the PA.